Now to an ABC 10 fire power money investigation.
And what we're seeing now is that our government is working hand in hand with corporates, that it's all about profit.
Survivors of PG&E wildfires want Governor Gavin Newsom to apologize after one of his top officials appeared as the monopoly's featured guest during a corporate event. I want to go ahead and bring in investigative reporter Brandon Rittiman now. Just to be clear, so I get this right, this is a top government official appearing at an event to promote PG&E to investors.
Yes, it's the cabinet secretary for Governor Newsom showing up at what PG&E called its Investor Day 2023. Part of that happened at a winery in Napa County and part at a big conference center that PG&E owns in San Ramon. All of it feels a world away to the people who've been burned out by PG&E's disasters.
Terry McBride and her daughter Kat have lived camping for the past 8 years.
I am past angry. I'm disgusted.
Their house burned in the Butte fire, started by PG&E power lines in 2015. Today, Terry only has 60% of her PG&E settlement money, even though PG&E has been out of bankruptcy for 3 years. While she and 70,000 other fire survivors come up short, PG&E is plugging itself to investors. Executives talked up plans to restore shareholder dividends this year, and they showcased the fact that PG&E,
our special guest,
has friends in high places.
So we are pleased to be joined by Ann Patterson, who is cabinet secretary to Governor Newsom. Yes, she is a big deal.
PG&E didn't respond to our emails for this story. The governor's office didn't respond to us either. But the cabinet secretary did respond to PG&E.
PG&E has become an incredibly important partner for us, and we have partnered incredibly successfully. Overall, just a good partner.
That partner, PG&E, has come under arson investigation every year of Governor Newsom's administration. During Newsom's first term, PG&E pleaded guilty to 85 felonies, including the manslaughter of 84 people in the Camp Fire.
How is it that a convicted criminal enterprise that is, just about the most unpopular entity in the state of California, how is it that they keep still getting what they want out of government?
Dave Rosenfeld battles PG&E, leading a group of solar panel owners. It's an uphill battle, he says, thanks to the millions that PG&E spends on politics.
By getting together in these kinds of intimate settings, the signaling that's going on is we're on the same side. We're with you. We see things in a similar way.
For nearly 20 minutes, the cabinet secretary took questions from PG&E executive Carla Peterman. Peterman was a state utilities regulator back when PG&E started the fires that drove it to bankruptcy. PG&E got out of that bankruptcy with help from a new state law, which our investigation revealed was written by PG&E's longtime law firm working under contract with Governor Newsom's office. The law, known as AB 1054, provided billions of dollars of state insurance to cover future fires started by power lines.
What are your thoughts on AB 1054 now 3 years after its adoption?
It's working. No.
Yay.
No, it's actually kind of cool. It's up, it's running.
It's absolutely, completely, and utterly disgusting. And you're not going to see any change from a governor and his cabinet that allowed all this to happen in the first place. It's not going to happen. They have to admit they're wrong, and they will not.
Terry McBride went to the Capitol in 2019 to speak for AB 1054, only to find that the law left her out. She listened for it, but Cabinet Secretary Patterson never mentioned the plight of the 70,000 fire survivors still waiting on their PG&E money.
Not only does he need to apologize, he needs to say, all right, we need to get this fixed.
We've asked multiple times this year whether the governor plans to do anything to help make PG&E fire survivors whole. It's a question he still hasn't answered.
Now, I should mention other state officials also took part in the PG&E Investor Day at a field trip in Napa County. Investors heard from State Senator Bill Dodd. You see the PG&E logo on this presentation up here. Also, CAL FIRE Battalion Chief J.C. Greenberg. Now, we asked CAL FIRE why they felt it was appropriate to participate in Investor Day for a company that it has repeatedly investigated for starting large and destructive wildfires. CAL FIRE spokesperson Nick Schuler said, "We strive to reach diverse audiences." He described the event as one of many forums CAL FIRE has used to educate the public about fire risk. Senator Dodd, a Democrat from Napa, said in a statement that he is pushing for PG&E to invest more in fire safety. "We've made strides," he told us, "but we're still not where we want to be." Alex?
One of the questions that jumps out at me is why was someone from Governor Newsom's office even there?
Yeah, and certainly that is feedback we've got, even from people who have listened and said, you know, I don't necessarily hear anything patently wrong about the words that she's speaking on this stage. It's still questionable optics. They question the political wisdom of sending someone there. Obviously, we don't have the governor's office perspective because they simply ignored our request for comment on this story.
And then the other question I had is why did a person who used to regulate PG&E host the event?
Yeah, Carla Peterman, she is an executive vice president at PG&E and was in fact a public utilities commissioner during the fires that drove PG&E into bankruptcy. So she left in December of 2018, the month after the Camp Fire, and there's no law in California that bans a former utilities commissioner from going right over to work for the utilities themselves. Some states do have laws like those. In New York, for instance, there's a lifetime ban. California simply doesn't have it, and no one seems to really bat an eye.
All right, Brandon, thank you so much. We appreciate it.